What up, Hope Biscuits? It's your girl Skitten, back at it again. I brought my husband with me because today we are here to watch a very special video.
We're here to watch Tier Zoo. This video dropped on the 17th. And my wife said when it dropped, we're busy tonight. 5 minutes later, we were both asleep.
Yeah.
We woke up and went, damn it.
Yeah.
And then we repeated that process until today.
Yes.
Nice to be here.
We finally did it. So, husband.
What?
You used to work in pest control.
I did.
Okay, and we live in the desert.
Sure do.
So you know what there's a lot of?
Hookers. Tons of them. All the time. And one time I was out by the Orleans.
No, we're not telling that story. We're not telling that story.
Oh, okay.
We're
Sorry.
not telling that story.
Well, there's also scorpions.
There we go.
Yeah, there's so many scorpions. There's a type of service that we used to do called a blacklight service because, you know, scorpions glow in the dark.
Which is weird.
And we would go out, we would hunt scorpions and put them in a barrel with sticky pads in them and then show the people how many scorpions are in their backyard. That was for our satisfaction.
I was going to say, it mostly just scared people.
Yeah,
Like,
that was the least favorite part for people. Like, do you want to see them? And they're like, no. Like, but you paid for us to do this. Yeah, they're everywhere. Yeah, we brought them here from Arizona. We import palm trees here in Vegas because they're not actually native to this desert landscape. Who knew? Oases are fake. And yeah, we import them in by the thousands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually really terrible.
And it's great for business. So here we are.
So I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are staying safe and sanitized. Today's video is called Are Scorpions OP? And as we stated earlier, it's from Tier Zoo. It came out like a month ago. I've been trying to shoot this video for a month. I'm excited. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started.
Make sure you check your shoes. Elden Ring.
Oh my god.
I know he's so proud of that.
Scorpions are one of the most intimidating builds in the game. They're also one of the oldest.
Really?
And they've been in the game since before the devs even added the terrestrial server DLC.
Okay.
Their combination of powerful claws and deadly stinger create an imposing threat to anyone looking to challenge
Trying to
them
get
in
it off
combat.
so bad.
But has their ancient strategy held up in the face of the immense power creep the game has seen? Let's take a closer look at the stats and abilities Scorpions employ, and ultimately decide where they fall on the tier list.
Okay.
This video was made in partnership with CuriosityStream. First, their stats. The Scorpion's stats are fairly decent across the board. Nothing completely overtuned, but not really lacking in any areas other than mobility and intelligence.
Their
power is obviously quite strong, as the Scorpion sports multiple types of damage-dealing equipment. Their claws act as potent grappling weapons, which can also deal minor crushing and slicing damage. Their Venom Sting is their ace move, though.
Right.
Being able to one-shot most players if the move connects.
In the face.
Big if there, but we'll come back to that. Their defenses are quite sturdy, though they sport the fairly standard chitin armor found in most arthropod builds. This is all they really need to be able to deflect most attacks from players within their own weight class, giving it ample time to counterattack with its piercing stinger. It gets easily crushed by larger foes. This armor is also crucial for avoiding passive environmental damage from things like sandstorms, which are common in the biomes Scorpion mains favor.
Funny enough, that exoskeleton is also what makes it impossible for pesticides to kill them, because there's no way for the fucking pesticide to get, like, into their system.
And people are like, oh, why don't you just, like, spray it right on top of the scorpion? They can live in the ground for days.
Like...
They don't need to leave. You start spraying the area, they'll just hide out until it dries enough for them to walk over it. Then they're like, I'm going to live.
And I'm fine now.
Appreciate it.
Despite the fact that humans have a way to completely negate the Scorpion's camouflage, against most opponents, the Scorpion's stealth is quite effective.
Makes sense.
In addition to camouflage, the Scorpion's flat shape allows it to easily wedge itself into more defensible positions. And their digging ability enables them to take cover in a pinch, which is good because stealth is basically their only option against more powerful players. They have very little defense against attacks from larger builds. You'd think their potent venom would make for an effective deterrent against attacks, but as we'll see, this defense falls apart rather quickly when it's truly tested. Their intelligence being below average is no
pretty
surprise. Intelligence builds weren't viable at all when scorpions were first added to the game. And while it's by far the most power-crept stat in the game now, back during the Ordovician expansion, intelligence as a strategy was largely ignored, and most players didn't level it beyond the point of granting basic sensory capabilities.
I don't know.
So with all that said, scorpions are a solid build with a straightforward strategy and a respectable history. However, as alluded to earlier, power creep has massively undercut the viability of scorpion builds.
Understandable.
A good player will have very little difficulty playing around the scorpion's strengths and exploiting its major weaknesses.
Trying to break it off.
So let's talk about those weaknesses. The straightforward nature of the scorpion's strategy is great for new players to be able to learn quickly. The scorpion's core strategy is to grapple an opponent, immobilizing them so that the scorpion's sting attack can connect without issue. The problem is, if they miss their grapple attempt, things can get dicey pretty quickly. Without claws holding the target in place, the Venom Sting attack has a pretty terrible accuracy rating. It's easily dodged, blocked, or avoided. Worse still, this stinger is not a disjointed hitbox. It can be damaged just the same as the rest of the scorpion's body.
Yeah.
In fact, when dealing with a scorpion, this is the optimal strategy. Scorpion claws are fairly weak compared to other clawed arthropods. Hermit crabs and lobsters can both deal far more damage via their vice grip attacks. Scorpions rarely deal lethal damage in such a way. So if an opponent attacks and disables their stinger, it's often game over for the scorpion.
That makes sense.
Scorpions also have very little counterplay when faced with multiple opponents. With no multi-target or AoE attacks, and no means of quick escape, they're quickly overwhelmed from a multi-directional
Fun enough, I thought when I was a kid that ants and scorpions were friends.
I thought all bugs were friends.
We were very wrong.
Yeah.
Their grab attacks are also not as effective as they need to be at times. Because they mostly rely on the pointed ridges of their claws to maintain grip, armored targets that can resist being punctured by these spines can often slip right out of their grip with ease.
What is this?
Not that the scorpion had much hope of landing a sting against a target with high puncture resistance anyway.
Right.
Now let's talk about matchups.
Okay.
First, the bad, of which there are many.
Yeah.
The Scorpion's worst matchups are going to be builds that spec into puncture-resistant armor or venom resistance. Several mammal builds, like the shrew and mongoose, opt for venom resistance solely for the purpose of subverting the Scorpion's defense.
So messed up.
Which makes this a borderline unwinnable matchup.
Look at the babies
The round shape of beetle armor is perfect for deflecting sting attacks, and extremely difficult to secure via grappling. Beetles tend to also be fairly lacking in their offensive stats, so it is rare to actually be defeated by one. But as a hunting target, they present quite a challenge.
Throwing off Hercules
Ants
beetle.
obviously must be avoided at all costs, as scorpions have no outs against a swarming attack.
And they are rad.
Birds have high accuracy on their pecking attacks and are often quite good at targeting their stingers. Their quick movement presents very little opportunity for counterattack, making this a tough matchup. Certainly not impossible though, as one hit from the stinger is likely enough to KO any bird.
Oh, okay.
And their feathers provide zero puncture
Right,
resistance.
there's no fucking armor there.
Reptiles are kind of a toss-up. An attack from a lizard or snake is usually powerful enough to deal heavy damage through the scorpion's armor.
Damn.
However, these attacks usually present ample opportunity for a stinging
No, be
counterattack
careful.
too. If it connects, it may one-shot the reptile, but not before it has already dealt potentially lethal damage anyway.
Right.
Scale armor is also somewhat puncture resistant, so this, combined with the sting's low accuracy, means these
squished to
fights
death.
tend to favor the reptile.
Hug of
For
death.
good matchups, scorpions are actually quite effective against spiders.
Ooh,
They lack strong armor and need to get in
God
close to
damn.
deliver their
Oh
own
my
lethal
God.
strike, presenting lots of opportunity for counterattacks.
He did it though.
Their webbing is of course a threat, but it's difficult for a spider to web down all three weapons, especially since the claws can slice through silk.
He looked like I'll still kill you.
Scorpions are also fairly decent at defending themselves from mammals like cats and dogs, as their claws cannot do much damage against the scorpion's armor, but the scorpion can easily counterattack for lethal if the mammal gets too careless.
Poor
There are a few abilities I think could turn
I just think that you just need to take a break, huh?
That was a coyote, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's not a puppy. Maybe a fox, maybe. Maybe a fox.
To be fair, like when it was just the face, it could have been a dog.
It might go bow wow. It might go ah.
Why is that the sound that you made?
Don't they scream?
Dogs?
Coyotes.
Oh.
The bow wow was the dog. It might go bow wow, which is the sound the dog makes, it might go, ah, which is the coyote, because they scream.
I was like, what kind of dogs have you been hanging around?
The dog with the horse head that screams when there's no candy.
Scorpions into a top-tier threat. A more versatile grappling option would be a solid start.
What the fuck is that?
Their claws struggle to secure opponents with puncture resistance or round shape, both of which are fairly abundant in the current meta.
Okay.
But there are plenty of other grappling techniques they could spec into instead of pincher claws.
Such as?
The Velvet Worm's glue spray attack.
I was getting ready to say,
Would
you
work
just
well to
pinned them
immobilize
down.
prey. Though this might not be super effective when trying to pin a player to a
Poor
sandy
guy.
surface. They could spec into the sort of tether grab attack like the chameleon uses. Though this requires a level of precision and accuracy that I don't think the Scorpion's current perception perks can quite support.
Yeah.
Scorpions could really benefit from
That is
catching up to the
terrifying.
other arthropods who run the compound eyes
Please
perk,
stop looking at me.
as this would really help alleviate their accuracy problem.
So they're too prehistoric.
One strat I think would work really well would be to min-max for the burrowing playstyle a bit more deliberately. The Antlion's playstyle of building a trap could be really effective, and the Scorpion is already fairly decent at digging holes. The added protection of staying out of sight would help against some of their worst matchups
Yeah,
too.
actually it would.
As they are now though, to be honest, I do think Scorpions have been power crept pretty hard, and that their glory days of being a top meta threat are long gone.
Unfortunate.
Their powerful grab sting death combo is still quite powerful, but their strategy is too easily subverted to make a dent in high level play.
Okay, so...
I place them firmly in D tier.
D?
On the tier list.
Okay, wow.
Nonetheless, Scorpions are a fascinating
incredible.
build that I do hope eventually get buffed.
I definitely thought it was going to be C tier.
Yeah, I was thinking it's because of the abundant, but we live in a desert landscape, first of all, so consider that in our opinion first.
I've seen grown men cry after getting stung by a scorpion.
They are
man.
pretty effective, and they're everywhere, even in the urban landscape that we've made in the desert. Not even talking about in the desert.
No.
They're everywhere.
They be in people's houses, in their toilets.
Seriously, I thought
in their
that-
shoes. We were not joking when we said check your shoes.
Yeah, they are just so not only abundant, but they're versatile. They're in so many different places in this urban landscape. I thought they were going to be a lot higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Tirzu's just clearly never been to Vegas. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
It happens. Maybe if you came,
If you came through, you know, want to roll through.
got a brewski.
You know, like let us get a little cameo. You put a little cameo in our video. You in the hair, you know, like anti-Hoosins.
Why did we do that for so long? I could have stopped so.
I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to leave your reaction requests and recommendations down in the comments below. I hope you succeeded at whatever it is you tried to do today, whether it was something as small as kicking. Why are you laughing?
I laugh every time you say that because some devious shit is going to be in somebody's mind and be like, I failed. But as small as... it's as small as what? And as big as what? I don't mean to sidetrack you.
Whether it's something as small as kicking that bad habit you have
Right?
of biting your nails,
Mm-hmm.
or something as big as finally telling your mother that you don't actually like that dish that she makes
You
on
don't have
holidays.
to do. You don't have to do that. You don't have to.
Easter's right around the corner.
don't
You gotta let her know.
You don't have to ruin Easter.
Ambrosia
also.
salad is not fucking good.
You can just take a small sample and be like, I'm on a diet. You don't have to do that.
Other than that, peace out, Hope Biscuits. It's getting lit.